Good afternoon, everyone. It's Anifa Menon from hearthealthbrainhealth.com, encouraging healthy grieving and mindful actions. Today, I'm on to the next section of the Corinthians verse, and this is about love again, and it is not proud. That's this section. Love is not proud. And you would think, wow, isn't it good to feel proud if you're in love? Yeah, but love in general is not proud. So even being in love is a great feeling and it's a wonderful thing to enjoy and experience, but without pride about it, right? So this is what I've got. So again, the love of anything, right? So it's not proud. So this is what I've got, or this is my achievement. And I thought that some people might want to know the actual definition of pride. So I thought I'd read it out to you. It says, pride is a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievements of those with whom one is closely associated, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired. So admired, we can admire a lot of things, right? So some people have a great job that they've done in their career, and someone might be a Nobel Prize winner, right? And that's a great admiration. But oftentimes we'll be much more appreciative of the person who is receiving that prize, who is doing it out of humility, right? That, wow, they're very humble in receiving it. We are noticing more and more sports athletes. You might notice that if they're winning an award, oftentimes there's a humility, and oftentimes they'll either thank God, they'll thank the universe, they'll thank their family or friends, they'll thank their coaches, and it's a wonderful thing to sing. Doesn't it just make you feel good? Doesn't it make you feel more loving towards the whole experience? That's what love is. I thought it's interesting that you might know that in North America, at least, we've got Pride Day, Pride Week, Pride Month, and this is dedicated to gays, homosexuals, lesbians, transgender. I think it's fantastic, and I think it's actually a perfect word. Now, it's interesting when we look at Pride Day or week or month, this became possible because there were enough people recognizing that this was a marginalized community. And we have a lot of them in the world, right? There are a lot of people that are thought of as less than. That's ego taking over. This group is less than me, so I will treat it differently. And this was what was happening with these various groups. And they were so not comfortable, not so treated right. And, there's still a lot of not good treatment for all of these groups. And what's sad is that, well, what's wonderful is that we've got this great day to celebrate that they can finally feel free to be themselves, right? If we were to think, I wanted you to think for a minute today about any group that you marginalize. So this is your own personal bias. So what would you do if someone was born with genes that makes them extremely tall, right? So and they are not necessarily comfortable. So let's say they're 8 feet tall, maybe they're 10 feet tall. And you think, wow, that's really unusual. You might use various words in your mind. You might do the same thing for someone who's very short. You might do something for someone who is larger, someone who is who has any sort of physical defect, some sort of psychological defect, right? Defect meaning something not perfect, right? And none of us is perfect. And yet, if that person cannot walk around freely to be themselves, and if we can't see the perfection in everything that comes from divine grace, then we've got something to work on, right? So I found this fantastic quotation, and it kind of defines everything that I'm discussing right now. It says, "For pride is spiritual cancer. It eats up the very possibility of love, or contentment, or even common sense." And I so agree with this, right? How would we possibly think? It's common sense that if this is how someone is born, it's common sense that we give respect. If this is how someone has moved themselves, right? So we will see that lots of people will have cosmetic surgery for various reasons. We don't have judgment over that until we know about it, right? And then we might have judgment about it. And why? What is the concern if someone is feeling that this is what makes them more comfortable, this is what makes them feel whole? And if someone is born in a particular way, we have absolutely no right to have judgment. No, we have no right to have judgment either way. But I would like you to think today about some of those spiritual cancers of how we think about others and what our biases are. It could be about skin color, it could be about race, ethnicity, could be about the way a person walks. It could be anything. People want to look for anything that differentiates them from another person. And this is not love. So love is not proud. So today I thought I would make sure that you remember that this is a big deal to think about. So love is not proud. So I found this quotation too, which is by Brad Moore. And this quotation says, "Pride would be a lot easier to swallow if it didn't taste so bad." Pride would be a lot easier to swallow if it didn't taste so bad. So a lot of times people who are proud, I'm going to go out on a limb and say from my experience, I've seen that it's perfectionists that are very proud. So this has to be this way. And when everything is this way, there's a lot of pride in it. Even if it's because of their own hard work, there's pride in it. And pride is that sense of achievement that is, I'm going to say, more lost in the pleasure of that achievement, lost in it, not purely appreciative for the higher source or divine energy that has come through the person to allow this achievement. Now, you might notice that, sports athletes are often receiving an award and will thank either God or the universe or their family and friends, their coaches. And don't we all feel great about that? Don't we feel wonderful? Don't we feel that love, like we ourselves have somehow assisted that person to help to win an award? This would happen with people who win Nobel Prizes, right? They've worked so hard to get to a particular place. They get the prize, and there is a humility about it. And I love that. So today I would love for you to sit for 5 minutes and see, what are your personal biases? What are the areas that you might be less humble? What are the places that you're very proud of? And I mean, you are allowed to be proud of your hard work and hard achievements and all of that. But if you keep your feet on the ground to understand that there is a blessing that's coming through you that is because of divine grace, whether you say God, whether you say the universe, whether you say it's higher consciousness, doesn't matter what label you put on that or what you link with that way, there is something greater than you as a human being that has achieved whatever you've achieved. And that is a wonderful place to be aware of. I would also like to finish with this quotation, which is by Ezra T. Benson. This quotation says, "Pride is concerned with who is right. Humility is concerned with what is right." Pride is concerned with who is right. Humility is concerned with what is right. Today, please sit down for 5 minutes and think about any area of your life that you have a bit of pride in. Is it about who is right, or is it about what is right? And I will remind you that whether we look at religious organizations that feel better than another, whether we look at professions that believe that they are better than another profession, whether we think of colors, whether we think of sexuality, whatever it is that is creating a pride that is not healthy. And I will also recognize and make sure that you're recognizing that a lot of times when people are in marginalized groups and they have been treated not so well by another group, they will have a pride towards the other group. There will definitely be this feeling of we're better than them because we don't do that. And this is not love, right? So just because one group is doing something not right, if another group does something that's not right, it doesn't make it right, right? There's nothing better. There's no love on either side. We can rise above those sorts of energies to put out the love that we would like to receive through understanding, compassion, and awareness. So I hope that you will do that for 5 minutes after this video for just one thing that you recognize, I've got a little bit of pride in this. I hope you do that exercise. I hope you recognize that you do also have humility in you, and I hope you'll practice that. I hope you have a fantastic day ahead, and remember, transform your mind and transform your life. Have a great day, everyone.